The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. Chapter 1. The Voice.
It had taken more than a decade to complete the Paris Opera House, with its 17 floors of grand architecture, making it the largest theatre in the world. Here, wealthy and noble Parisians enjoyed great musical performances either from the magnificent auditorium or from their elegant private boxes. Intervals provided the opportunity to walk about the imposing grand foyer and grand staircase, decorated with precious marbles and onyx, and to socialize amongst statues of the world's greatest composers. Here, the most elegant members of Parisian society could display themselves in their finest clothing and jewels. This was just as important as watching the performance itself. The Paris Opera House was an architectural jewel, but while its patrons applauded the great performances, they were quite unaware of another, strange world hidden beneath the stage. Here, in its many dark cellars and web of passageways, lay the secrets of another world. A world where no ray of light ever shone, where a ghostly creature living in the furthest depths would rise to terrorize the patrons and performers of the Paris Opera. This is where our story of darkness and intrigue unfolds. The story of the Phantom of the Opera. Dawn had not broken one Paris morning when a voice could be heard in a small flat in the Rue Notre-Dame-des-Victoires, a voice so perfect and pure one would believe only an angel could possess it. Christine Daae, a singer at the opera, awoke to the heavenly singing, experiencing the joy of a young child on its first Christmas. She thought she was still dreaming to hear a sound so perfect. When she was fully awake, the voice began to fade and then disappeared with the light of day, leaving her to wonder what being could have produced such a beautiful sound.
How beautiful! Who can it be?
She was unable to sleep again and thought only of the melodic voice the whole day. Even though she had witnessed so many exceptional performances at the Paris Opera, Christine had never heard such musical perfection, and she longed to experience again the thrill it had brought her. And she was not to be disappointed. The voice returned to her again and again in her room each morning before dawn. Then, one day, it vanished as suddenly as it had come. She prayed with all her heart each night that the angelic voice would return, but she waited alone in a silence, broken only by the occasional rumble of a carriage on the cobblestone street below. A few weeks later, in her dressing room, as she was preparing for the evening's performance, she became aware of a faint sound, gradually gaining strength and coming near her. It was the voice. Its song filled her with a sensation she could not describe as its beauty flowed through the walls. She did not know where it had come from, and yet it seemed to be all around her. She was attracted to the voice like a magnet. Then the singing stopped, and the voice spoke to her.
I've come to offer you a gift, Christine. To make your greatest dream come true. I ask only one thing in return.
At that very moment, a bond was created between Christine Daae and the voice that would change her life forever.